Imagine being told your entire life that you're special, that you play the game differently, that you were born to shine. But then, you enter a world where shining isn't always allowed. A world where structure comes first. Where creativity is trimmed again, and sometimes, cut away entirely. Now imagine living in that world for a year. Feeling the pressure of expectations. The whispers. The benchings. The doubt. And then, you take the biggest risk of your young career, you walk away. You leave your hometown school. You leave the coach who recruited you. You leave the dynasty everyone says you should stay with. And you bet on yourself. This is the story of Milaysia Fulwiley, the flashy phenom who escaped the most disciplined system in women's basketball and transformed into a supernova under Coach Kim Mulkey. Tonight, we dive into the drama, the philosophy clash, the hidden reasons behind the transfer, and how LSU has turned Milaysia from a highlight reel into a monster. This is the rebirth of Milaysia Fulwiley. Buckle in, because this story is wild. Milaysia wasn't just good. She was different. Her handles looked like Kyrie Irving. Her pace looked like Ja Morant. Her creativity looked like a hooper who plays the game with joy, not a checklist. Even before college, her highlights reached millions. People didn't watch her to see the score. They watched to see what she would do next. She played basketball like dancing, rhythmic, unpredictable, electrifying. She was destined to be a star. When she committed to South Carolina, fans celebrated like they just landed the #1 pick in the WNBA draft. It felt perfect, a hometown hero, a dynasty led by Staley, a team stacked with talent, a coach with a reputation for developing pros, but even perfect pictures can hide cracks. From day one, people around the program sensed the fit wasn't seamless. Staley's system works wildly well. It creates national champions. It produces pros. It wins every year. But that same system demands structure, predictability, team-first execution, low-risk decision-making. Milaysia is not low-risk. She is controlled chaos. Her highlights come from improvisation. Her genius comes from breaking plays, not following them. It became clear quickly, South Carolina didn't know what to do with an artist like her. Imagine being the most talented scorer in the gym, and yet, your minutes are limited. Imagine seeing your flashes go viral, but hearing from coaches, make the safe play. Imagine wanting to attack, but being told to read, reset, recycle, repeat. This is the quiet battle Milaysia fought daily. Not physical. Not emotional. But basketball identity. Who was she supposed to be? The creator? Or the system piece? Game after game, fans begged, why isn't Fulwiley playing more? Give her the ball. Let her cook. But inside the locker room, the message was consistent, play the system. Limit turnovers. Limit risk. Stick to the plan. Milaysia respected Staley deeply. No drama. No shouting. No conflict. Just misalignment. She wasn't being held back maliciously, she was being coached through the lens of a system built before she ever arrived. And she knew something, she couldn't become the version of herself she dreamed of in that system. When Milaysia entered the transfer portal, the entire basketball world froze. This wasn't just news, it was an earthquake. Commentators were stunned. Fans were confused. Analysts were speechless. South Carolina losing the most talented offensive guard they've ever recruited? No one saw it coming. People speculated, was it playing time? System issues? Philosophy mismatch? Personality clash? But the truth was simpler, she wanted freedom. When Mulkey reached out, she didn't sugarcoat anything. She didn't promise starting spots. She didn't promise stardom. She promised something far more valuable, a system built around creativity. Mulkey said it plainly, I don't want to slow you down. I want to weaponize what makes you special. It was exactly what Milaysia had been searching for. The moment Milaysia arrived at LSU, the transformation began. Practices weren't about restriction, they were about refinement. Mulkey didn't yell at her for a risky pass. She taught her how to disguise it, how to time it, how to execute it. Mulkey didn't limit her attacks. She structured the floor to give her more space. Teammates didn't tell her to calm down. They told her, keep going. For the first time in her college career, Milaysia was playing free. You could see it immediately, the swagger, the bounce, the smile, the energy. She wasn't a role player anymore. She was the engine. And once she felt that confidence again, the rest was history. Mulkey built actions designed to make her unstoppable. 5-out spacing, high drag screens, guard isolations, empty corner sets, open floor transition, runouts, green light in mid-range, green light from deep, green light at the rim. In other words, unleash the beast. And LSU's offense exploded. They became the fastest, most entertaining, and most high-powered scoring team in the country. Fulwiley wasn't just part of it. She was the reason. The stats started climbing. The highlights? Outrageous. Analysts said, this is the Fulwiley we were waiting for. She's unrecognizable, in the best way. She looks like an entirely new player. But she wasn't new. She was finally unlocked. It hit them hard. The fans who once cheered her now wondered what could have been. The system that once tried to shape her now realized what they had lost. Dawn Staley, publicly gracious, privately? She knew this one would sting. Because you don't lose a talent like Milaysia and feel nothing. Pundits debated, did Staley mismanage her? Did Mulkey steal one? Is this the biggest transfer of the decade? One analyst said, Milaysia Fulwiley might be the most dangerous guard in college basketball now that she's free. Another said, South Carolina lost their Kyrie. LSU gained their Ja Morant. The hype was real. Opponents game planned differently. Teams added extra defenders. They hedged screens. They trapped her early. They tried to force her left. They tried to take away the mid-range. Nothing worked. Her bag was too deep. Her creativity too advanced. Her confidence too high. You can't scheme out a genius. You can only try to survive it. And then, the schedule circled a date. LSU versus South Carolina. Mulkey versus Staley. Freedom versus structure. The star that left versus the system she escaped. This game became the biggest storyline of the season. Not for rankings. Not for titles. For closure. For identity. For legacy. And for Milaysia, it meant everything. She didn't leave for drama. She didn't leave to prove someone wrong. She left to prove herself right. And LSU gave her the canvas to paint the masterpiece she always had inside her. By mid-season, the transformation was undeniable. More efficient, more polished, more confident, more dominant, more creative, more poised, more feared. The world finally saw her full potential. And the scariest part? She's only getting started. Milaysia Fulwiley didn't run away. She didn't escape pressure. She didn't flee responsibility. She made a choice, the hardest choice an athlete can make, to walk away from comfort, loyalty, and home. To chase the best version of herself. And in doing so, she changed her career. She changed LSU. She changed the SEC. And she changed the entire landscape of college basketball. Because sometimes, greatness doesn't bloom in a system. It blooms in freedom. Milaysia's journey reminds us, don't dim your light to fit someone else's cage. Shine where you're allowed to be seen. And today, Milaysia Fulwiley is shining brighter than ever.